What's going on, guys? I haven't done a video on Tesla since a very long time. I just want to go look at the chart real quick and see where we're at, and you guys can hear my views and we'll see what the chart is telling us here. Because I am potentially seeing something that could be pretty bad. Excuse me. Right here, Tesla. So, this is what I have so far. You guys know I posted a video on Tesla around this time here. We were trying to load up here roughly around this 400 range. I bought it at 402. And, you know, we ended up having a huge rip out of this resistance here. It looks like I forget where, oh yeah, here's my target right here. My target was $800 and we ended up hitting obviously higher than that. I took a lot of profits in this range here. Anyway, so Tesla broke out of that channel, rounded over and dipped, fell all the way down, tapped this support perfectly, absolutely perfectly. One touch there. That would have been the buy zone for sure. And if you didn't buy there, we would have bought here. You know, that was insane. We made a nice double bottom here. We ripped to the upside. We got rejected. We could not close a candle body above 765-ish, right? We got massive rejection. We fell down. We broke this trend line support. We started chopping around in this potential rising channel. I had posted on my trading view that if we broke 700, it should be a pretty good momentum play here. And we actually chopped around right underneath this resistance here of 730, and we fell down, found support here at 650, and we've been ripping once again up again. So we got a breakout of this potential of an ascending wedge here at 727. I think I ended up making a post later on saying that if we got above 727, we should see some pretty good momentum. And looking at the targeted move of this breakout, the targeted move, believe it or not, assuming that this is ascending wedge, which it could be something different, I didn't really look into it too much, but I just saw the breakout, is actually 815. However, the range that we're getting a lot of rejection touches on is a critical level for Tesla. Absolutely insane. This is going to flip everything else. Why? Because look at here. When we broke this range, we came back to back test it, fail. When we came back up, resistance. We came back down. We found a nice flat level support here, and which we ended up obviously ripping to the upside. So this was a great landing platform for a nice potential double bottom. Right to the upside, and look where we're at now. We're testing the same key level. So now, of course, if we can break above this 766 and even reclaim it at all, I don't know if we'll fall, how it's going to play out. We need to close and hold this support area here for our next big move. Now, obviously, this is a big target here, but we have a lot of resistance above. Now, you know, we could come up here, back test this, lose that support, fall down, or we can just reject here. But we're gonna have to look at some indicators here instead of just trying to guesstimate what it's gonna do. So right now I am seeing how huge this resistance is. It looks like it's roughly around 765. You can see the RSI on the daily is starting to roll over a hair, and it kind of looks like a potential rising wedge. Let's take a look and see, before I look into the indicators, what we have going on here, because it looks like some pretty clear support and resistance touches here that we can make a case off of. Now, if this is a rising wedge, you guys know the target of a rising wedge is the bottom of the wedge. So if this ends up being, actually it looks like a rising channel, so that's I guess, well, I'm sure it'll have an apex somewhere. Let's just see.
This is the daily chart.
Pull this up. Pull this up.
Right.
Get some more of a channel. Okay. So we have this rising channel here. So if we rolled over here, we would want to hold support at 745. And if we lost that 745-ish area and closed the candle below here, started using it as resistance, we could expect potential support down at 727 again. And if we can't hold support there, then we could fall all the way back down to this lower support here, which would not be a good thing for Tesla to do. However, it's very possible that we do this. We have to just keep our eyes on it. That would be around 682 at this point.
Bonds broke up yesterday.
Now,
tap the top purple indicator.
We are looking like we're starting to roll a little bit. Let me pull up some indicators. We have the Ichimoku cloud to start because that's my favorite. You can tell we're above the cloud everywhere, which is actually pretty fantastic to see. However, our next support of our cloud, depending on how this works out, if we were to drop down today, we would see some support around 706 on the daily. If we were to wait until a little later here, say we end up reaching some targets in the 800 and we fall, we could have support all the way down at 660. And that would be a break of the trend line here, which would not be a good thing. But one thing to think about is that this whole uptrend, we were above all this cloud support on the daily. We were using it as support. When we broke it, that was when we fell down. We tried to maintain this red Ichimoku cloud line of support. We back tested it twice. We got a rip. The last time we failed it, we used it as resistance. Resistance here. Resistance here. Resistance here. Rejection.
Make a new low.
Rip. Now, usually you want to come back down and back test that thing. So this could make a case that if we get rejected in the same critical area we always get rejected, that we could see us come all the way back down here, which could inevitably be a springboard to the upside. Or if we come down and we fail it, then we could have lower targets to go. But that's the daily. If we look at the weekly here, we don't seem to have any clear Ichimoku cloud resistance above. It's all support below here. A very strong flat bottom support on the weekly around 470. The RSI is trending up here in a potential rising wedge of some sort. But we are getting a very beautiful weekly candle above this resistance here. We do want to close our following candle above 727. Let's see on the 4 hour if we have any clear resistance here.
And then it reached
we're pretty much above all of our resistance here on the bigger time frames.
Lower high.
Let's see. There's no divergence that I can see here, which is a good sign.
So that was
3 hour. We're above everything.
But that's a good place to buy at the bottom of the
2 hour. Yeah, so we're pretty much above all of our resistance here. Now we can see that we have some. Do we have bearish divergence?
I actually think this is a lower high.
Not really. So we could see ourselves potentially roll over here.
It's close, but it's not.
Touch here. I know it's up at 760 right now pre-market. However, if we do manage to fail right here, we could see a potential drop there. But trying to see if I see any.
Do they call it a golden cross?
I guess we can kind of
I don't
almost make a case here that we have something like this going on, which would be potentially minus those few wicks there. A potential ascending triangle right here,
and then this,
which is good to see.
TLT will probably be the stock to buy for October. I'm gonna do October calls.
I do want to fix this line real quick
rocky road
to be perfect with 765. Yeah, right there. Okay, so this could be potentially an ascending triangle right now, or it could be, whoops, didn't mean to do that, or it could be some kind of rising channel. We'll have to see how it plays out, if that does play out at all. I mean, like I said, we could see a breakdown, but I'm not seeing anything just yet that's really telling me that we're going to break to the downside. I'm actually seeing that we could you know, besides this RSI on the 1 hour's not looking too good just yet, but we could see a bullish break out of this ascending wedge, and if we do, it looks like our target would land us up at 774 if we do break to the upside. But I need to pull up some more indicators here to give us a little bit more of a clear view. So, you know, let's take a look at the smaller time frames real quick. We're being supported by the 20 EMA on the 45-minute. I'm just going down to the real small time frames just to see how everything's looking. I mean, obviously, we're almost at that support on the 5-minute.
I think it's gonna break downwards.
On the 3 hour, I'm not seeing any support or resistance. Obviously, you can see we're emming out a little bit right here. There is some very small bearish divergence just on this little 1-2 hump. Obviously, that 4-hour candle was not too good, and seeing that this wicked a little bit lower than this one, showing some momentum running out here. Let's look at the MACD real quick.
Lower high.
So on the 3 hour, it looks like we're actually getting ready to cross negative here on the MACD, indicating that we have buyer exhaustion right now. So, you know, this could potentially break to the downside here. Just based off of the MACD and everything rolling over here, we can see this 3 hour MACD could be rolling over here. So, you know, it's very possible that we could come back down here to either the 749 or fall from this wedge and actually come back down and retest this 2714. I'm not too sure exactly how this is going to play out. All I know is that this level right here of 765 is absolutely critical. So we have those two areas to watch on Tesla. Can I pull up something else?
Top of the blue line
check the Keltner indicator. So on the Keltner indicator on the 4 hour, so let's just see how this is looking, because, you know, if we look at our previous uptrend, we can see on the Keltner that on our uptrend we pretty much stayed above this middle line of the Keltner and this upper line of the Keltner, and when we broke it, that was our warning sign right here. Warning sign number 1, and then we M'd out, we lost it, and then we ended up staying on this bottom Keltner channel line the whole way, using the second line as resistance. When we finally did break it here, we used this top line as resistance, which we usually used as support, and then we couldn't hold the second line. We tried again, we backtested the second line, we held it. We tried to hold this top line, we failed. We didn't quite close any candle bodies below the second. However, not holding this top line was a good enough sign here that we weren't able to maintain it, and we fell using the second line as resistance once again. Top line as resistance, bottom line support, broke, tried to hold this top line once again, could not do it. Bottom line, top line resistance, so on and so forth. You see the trend, right? That's something that I like to look at. Same thing here, top line resistance. And now what are we doing? So far, we came up, we broke this top line, we came down, we didn't even quite hit the second line here, we bounced, and now we're holding this top line as support. So this top line here on the 4 hour is roughly around 748. So that's something to consider. If we did wick below and we did hold this 748, we would want to see this 748.88 hold the support here, and then if we came down to the second line here, that's around 735.88, and we don't really want to break that too much. And then the third line here, just to keep for records here, is 723, and that's all on the that's all on the 4 hour time frame there. Now for the daily, we are now still above, and we even back tested this upper line here, so that is pretty bullish to see that coming in as
bottom of the
potential scenario to give us a little bit better view on what's going on here on the daily. So that's good to see.
Damn it, come on.
I mean, it is a little bit tricky to see because we can see the MACD rolling over and everything like that. So what else can we look at here? Let's look at the Williams alligator, because that's going to show us our momentum. So our momentum on the daily is still looking very nice. Our 4 hour is still looking pretty good. I mean, it hasn't even really quite rolled over yet. 2 hour, nothing's really rolling over too much. I mean, on the 1 hour, we're rolling a hair, it looks like, which could be a signal of us potentially rolling over here. But so it really seems to me like the clearest thing to say right now is that, are we going to lose this potential ascending wedge here? Are we going to be able to break and close above 760 or 765? We haven't closed any hourly candles above 760 yet. Or are we going to have to come back down here and maybe retest some of this 750, 748 support? So that's where I'm at right now. So I mean, it's really going to come down to what's the levels that we're going to hold if we do drop. Are we going to maintain? Are we going to have to come all the way back down to 726? Or are we going to maintain in this channel and continue on our upswing and maybe create something different that rips us to the upside? We back test and we continue ripping up until hitting potentially the 800 to 815 target there. That's where I'm at with Tesla. So hopefully this is helpful. And, I know there's not too much indication going on besides the MACD really rolling over, showing momentum. And I'm not seeing too many negative warning signs yet because we're above a lot of resistance. However, we just want to be a little bit cautious with this MACD. That's the only thing that's really showing us some signs here of weakness starting. But we do have a lot of support below, ranging between this range here of 726 or 727 and 765. So this is our key level. So keep an eye on Tesla. Peace.